I think one of the first things you see when you look at Boston, when you look at the neighborhoods of Boston, is how crowded it is. The buildings are on top of one another, the streets are really narrow. As a result of that, there's a certain intensity that comes with living there. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 7 kids, and my mom and my dad, and then they were up and down the street, there were 9 kids here, 13 kids over here, 12 kids over here, 6 kids over here, and we're all kind of piled on top of each other. I think that's a big part of the book. That was a big part of growing up there, and it's a big part of what you see in Boston. A lot of the kids I grew up with have done amazing things with their lives, and a lot of them were dead or in prison by the time they hit 30. And so there are all these different paths that the people are taking, and the book is about, part of the book is about that. I mean, you have 2 kids, one's 14, 15, one's a little bit older, and they get involved in this crime. They get involved in this awful crime. The older kid stays to face the music, and the younger kid is put in a car and shipped out of town. And he never comes back until he's a grown man. When Kevin comes back into Brighton, this all gets blown up again. Kevin still feels enormous guilt that he left. He feels like he was a coward for leaving. So a lot of it is Kevin trying to make up to Bobby, trying to make this friendship whole. And as Bobby tells him, you can't do that. You can't go back and change what happened. But Kevin is the kind of person who thinks, I can solve this, I can fix this. When you start to take those steps to do certain things, you get sucked into a lot of bad stuff, a lot of stuff that's bigger than you. And that's what Bobby's trying to tell Kevin is, there are larger forces at play here in Brighton than you could ever imagine. It's different than the other books I've written, which have been private detective or police procedural type of books. This is more of a childhood book. So it's not about downtown, it's not about the mayor, it's not about political corruption, it's in the neighborhoods. And it's about growing up in the neighborhoods, living in that environment, and what happens when you're a kid sometimes follows you around for the rest of your life, and there's really no escaping it.